Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. I wanted to talk about like my skincare and my makeup favorites that I just have been loving this springtime. Well, these are products that I love all year round, but I just happen to be filming this video during spring. Now, I want to do my skincare with you here on camera, so I haven't done anything this morning. This is just my skin after I wake up, but I have several products here that I want to give mentions to because a lot of these I rotate around when it comes to my morning skincare routine. Now for my nighttime skincare, I exclusively use my Tower 28 products, but for the morning, I sometimes rotate between my Tower 28 products and e.l.f. Cosmetics. I've used e.l.f. skincare for many years and I have always loved their skincare. I think I'm always going to have a loyalty to their skincare, but I really do love Tower 28's products as well. So I'm going to give all of these products a little mention here because I think they all are really good. And depending on whether you'd rather use drugstore skincare or a little bit more of higher end skincare, you know, I think all of these are good options. But before we get into them, the first thing I always do is start out with my Garnier Micellar Water. Now this is the rose water one, which you can see I'm gonna have to purchase a new one of these soon. I go through this so quickly. I use this every single day. Like this is what I use for in the morning because I don't use like an actual cleanser like one that you would use with water for the morning. I just use this. And then I have this little reusable little thing. I got this from Dollar Tree, and then I just put them into the laundry when I'm washing my clothes for the week. But I just like to use this for in the morning. I don't really go in with a actual like cleanser. I find that for the morning time, this does enough for me, and I really love the rose water one. I don't know why. I have the original one too, and I like that one just as much, but there's something that's kind of refreshing about the rose water one, and I just enjoy using it. Okay, the next product, I use this both morning and night. This stays the same no matter whether I'm using e.l.f. in the morning or Tower 28. This is the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray. I love this stuff. I've been through so many of these bottles by now. I need to buy the refill because you can buy like a bigger size and just keep refilling these. I might pick that up during the Sephora sale, but I really love this. Honestly, any hype you hear about this, it's true. And I just like to spray my face with that. I drench my face with this stuff because it feels nice, and I hold it really close anyway, so it really gets me. You definitely don't have to hold it up that close, but I just like to drench my face with it because it's refreshing in the morning. It helps keep my skin calm because I struggle quite a lot with some redness lately. It's just been something I've been having to deal with, and I love spraying this because I feel like it's just soothing. Now, I've never sprayed it over the top of makeup, so I don't know. I know it says that you can use it, yeah, like you can spray it throughout the day. I've never applied it over the top of makeup, so I don't know if it would affect your makeup in any way. I can't speak to it for that. I just use it for my skincare. But I wouldn't be completely opposed to having like the mini, because you can buy a mini of this. I wouldn't be opposed to having that and keeping it in my purse because it is a really nice spray. It just feels so nice on the skin. Now here's where I'm going to give a couple of little shout outs to some different products because this is where I rotate around. Sometimes in the morning for a serum, I will use my e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the Thirst Burst Drops. These are really nice. Now this is my first bottle of this, but I actually think I will repurchase it once I finish this up because I've been enjoying it. I think this is also a good one to mix in with your complexion products, which it says you can use it like that you can mix it in. Yeah, to your foundation. You can use it as a makeup primer. I've been using it as a serum. Have I used it as a... No, I don't think I've used it just alone as a primer, but I have used it as a serum. I have used it to mix into some products. I've mixed it in with a liquid blush before to make an even glowier, kind of even more toned down blush. So I think this option is really good. The other serum that I really love is the Tower 28 SOS Intensive Rescue Serum. This stuff is amazing. I've gone through several of these as well. This is like my third or fourth one, and I really enjoy this. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with either of these serums. I like them both. It just depends on what you're looking for. So I don't know who exactly I want to use today. Who should I use? Now, I use this at nighttime, so why don't we use this one? Let's use the e.l.f. one because I do use all of my Tower 28 skincare alone at nighttime, so let's just go ahead and use the e.l.f. one. And I like to do about 2.5 pumps. Looks kind of like that right there. It's like this pinky serum. This stuff is really nice. And I just like to pat it into my skin and all along my neck. It just feels so amazing, so refreshing. And it does give you that pretty glow to your skin. So it would be really pretty to mix in with like a foundation. I think I might just go ahead and use my e.l.f. skincare right now this morning, because I do typically use their skincare during the morning times, and then I use the Tower 28 one exclusively at night, but sometimes I do rotate around. But let's just talk about the e.l.f. skincare, because I have loved e.l.f. skincare for years. I've been using their products for many, many years. I have often given credit to e.l.f. Cosmetics for saving my skin. My skin used to be so dry that I couldn't even apply foundation with a brush because it was that bad. After I started using e.l.f. skincare, it solved that problem for me. My skin definitely become much more hydrated. I don't really have to worry much about dry skin anymore like I used to. Sometimes, occasionally, you'll get a dry patch, but for the most part, it's not something that I deal with anymore, which I'm so happy and thankful for, because dry skin is just so uncomfortable. That's one of the biggest reasons why I think I really love glowy makeup, because I struggled with dry skin for so long. I don't really like the look of matte skin on myself, because it reminds me of when my skin was so dry. So that's one of the reasons why I much prefer a glowier base. Okay, the next product that I will sometimes go in with is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Eye Cream. I don't think I'm going to go in with that today necessarily. A lot of times I will skip this in the morning and use it at night. I have used it plenty of times in the morning as well. I think just in the morning sometimes I'm just trying to quickly do my skincare so I can do my makeup, so I can get ready for the day. So sometimes I'll just reserve this for night. So I'm not going to wear it today, but I do want to mention it because I've gone through many of these as well. This is my favorite eye cream. I've tried some other eye creams and I always come back to this one. I think it's a good one, so I just wanted to give it a little shout out in case you were looking for an affordable eye cream you'd like to try. I think this is a really good one. Now here's where, for moisturizer, I'm going to also mention, well, actually three here. The first one is the Tower 28 SOS Daily Barrier Recovery Cream. This one I love. This is the jumbo size, which you can only purchase, I believe, on Tower 28's website. For a limited time, they did have this on the Sephora app, but they took it off. So this is the jumbo, but they make it in the regular size. I've already gone through one of the regular sizes of these, and I have about this much left of the jumbo, and I already have a backup of this again, because this is a really, really nice moisturizer. It's kind of on the more... It's a little bit on the thicker side, but not too thick. Like, it's not like a runny moisturizer, you know, it has a little bit more of a thickness to it. So it's one of the reasons why I love using it at night, because I just like that little bit more of thickness to it. So I wanted to give this one a mention because it is incredible. And the other two that I love using from e.l.f., this one is my favorite. I've been using this one for so long. This one is one that I used to use before they even had their Holy Hydration line, when this was just called like the Daily Moisturizer. It was in a green tube back then. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up here. I've been using it that long, and now they've repackaged it as their Holy Hydration Daily Moisturizer. Love this stuff. I have gone through so many of these in my lifetime. I can't even tell you how many I've gone through. And the fact that I've been using this before the Holy Hydration line even existed is just proof of how amazing this is. I really love this for the morning time. It's very lightweight. It's thin. It sinks nicely into the skin. It is a beautiful moisturizer. The other one I want to mention is one that is definitely a little bit more thicker, of course, than this. This is on par with the Tower 28 one as far as being a little bit more thicker. This is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream. Now, this is the fragrance-free one. They have an original, and then they have one with SPF in it. I just have the fragrance-free one here. I really like this stuff. It comes in like this little tub, as you can see. Hopefully I can show you what the consistency looks like. This is another one that is absolutely incredible. Sometimes if I feel like I need extra hydration on my skin in the morning, I will use this, but more often than not, I am using this one right here. I mean, this one is just incredible. I take about 3 to 4 pumps of this because I also like to put it on my neck, and I just like to make sure that it's all rubbed in because it just feels so nice on the skin. Now, excuse me if my face turns a little red. My skin's sensitive, so when I'm rubbing products in like this, it does turn red, but it's not the products, it's just the way my skin is. I just want to mention that in case this is the first video of mine you are seeing and you're wondering why my skin's turning so red. That's why. This stuff is so nice. It does have a little bit of a, I don't want to say sticky because that sounds uncomfortable, but like a little bit, you kind of see it, like a little bit of tack to it. So I find that if you wanted to use this as primer, you definitely could. It would be so perfect for that. It just feels so hydrating on the skin. It's been my favorite for a very long time, so I just of course wanted to give this a nice shout out because it deserves it. Now this product I use exclusively at nighttime for when I double cleanse my skin, but I want to give it another mention here because it's another skincare favorite that I want to talk about. This is the Tower 28 SOS Daily Balancing Gel Cleanser. This is my second one. I've already gone through a whole one of these, and I have this one that I recently opened, maybe last week, and I already have a backup of it again, and I will be buying another during the Sephora sale. I really do like this. I think it does a good job of really getting rid of your makeup. Usually I use it as the second step in my double cleansing process, but I have used it before on its own to remove makeup, and it does a pretty good job. I do like to go back over my skin afterwards with some micellar water just to make sure like any remnants of mascara or anything are left, because my eyes are very sensitive, and if any little bit of mascara is left over, then I find that my eyes get really irritated. But I still think this does a really good job of removing makeup. That me using the micellar water is just me making sure that all the mascara is gone, but I do that with any cleanser. But I just wanted to give that one a little mention as well because that's an amazing cleanser, but I use that one exclusively at night. I don't ever use that one in the morning. And then the last step I do in my skincare, aside from my lip prep, but I like to apply this first and then do that, is my sunscreen. This is my favorite sunscreen ever. I've been using this one for a long time. I don't really ever want to be without it, but I saw on Instagram, okay, the day I'm filming this, it would have been yesterday, where Tower 28 was asking some questions on their Instagram stories about like what you like in an SPF. So I'm wondering, are we getting an SOS sunscreen soon? I hope so. I hope so. I can't wait. If they do, I can't wait to try it. But this one is amazing. I love this one. This is from Sunbum. This is their Face Lotion Face 50 sunscreen. Now, this is not a mineral sunscreen. This is a chemical one, but they do make a mineral version in this line. Like, this brand has all kinds of SPF products. So if you're not into this, like a chemical, I understand that. Some people prefer mineral. I like the chemical in a way because just it sinks in better to my skin, and this has never irritated my skin. I know sometimes chemical sunscreens can be a little bit too harsh for some people's skin. I've never had any issues with this one. I've been using it for a very long time. This one's my favorite, so I'm going to take my rings off here before I go in with this. And for me, now this is it's a very thin sunscreen. I'm hoping you can kind of see it. See how it's already kind of like running down? It's a very thin sunscreen, but I just like to apply it. It comes out white. Now, it does absolutely blend into your skin, so you don't have to worry about it leaving a white cast, because at first it kind of goes on white, but then it just blends the more you rub it into your skin. And you can see just how much glow that sunscreen gives me. It's very glowy on the skin, which I'm not opposed to, but I know some people this would be way too much glow. But like I mentioned, because I've struggled, or did struggle, I should say, for so long with dry skin, I much prefer a glowy base, glowy products, because I want my skin to be glowy and shiny, because it just makes me feel better. I don't really like a matte complexion on myself. I'd love to see it on other people. I think it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I don't really want it for me, because the dry skin thing was a struggle for me for so long, so I much prefer something like this. This is very glowy. Now, I like to let my sunscreen sink in for at least 10 minutes, maybe 10 to 15 minutes before I ever apply any makeup. So I'm going to let this sink in. I have a little timer going over there to make sure that I'm letting it really sit on my skin before I go in with my makeup. So I'm going to just let this kind of soak in, and I'll be right back and we'll talk about makeup favorites. Okay, my sunscreen has been sitting in for quite a while now, so we're going to move on to like my makeup portion. Now, the only thing I've done off camera, because this isn't really a favorite, I don't dislike it or anything, but I wouldn't consider it like a top favorite. I just, on my eyes, use the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. I just used that as eyeshadow primer today, and I've already set that. Now, for my primer, I've been really loving this. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum, and I've just loved using this. I only have this little tiny points perk. I got this like with points from Sephora. I think you could use 100 points and then get this, and I have been really loving it, just pressing it all into my skin. It just feels nice. It's just like a little serum. but I love it so much because to me, you saw how glowy my sunscreen made my skin. I feel like when I applied this over the top of it, because this is more of a mattifying serum, I feel like it tones down the glow to where it looks more like a natural glow. I don't know if that makes sense. And I know on camera it might not look like it because I know I have my ring light on and everything. So that kind of makes everything look a little bit more brighter and shinier. But just in general, it just tones down that glow just a little bit, but it still leaves the glow. It doesn't take it away completely, it just kind of tones it down. But I've really been loving this, and I definitely plan on purchasing the full size of this once the Sephora sale comes around, because I think this is like 30 something dollars. It is kind of a pricey product, but I definitely want to pick it up because I've really been enjoying it. And I know that when I'm done with this little sample, I'll miss it and I want it back in my collection. So definitely plan on purchasing that because I just think it looks so pretty on the skin. For eyeshadow, I've been loving the Natasha Denona Bloom eyeshadow palette. I just think this is a stunning palette for springtime. I don't know, there's just something about it that is so very beautiful, and I've been wanting to use it a lot. So I'm going to create a really probably simple kind of look with this palette today. But you know, I think first off, I'm going to take the shade Petal from the palette, and I'm going to take that on a blending brush from e.l.f. And I'm just going to kind of use that to press all over my lid and all the way up to my brow bone. I'm kind of using it a little bit as like a setter shade. I did already use a powder on my eyelid to set that eyeshadow primer, but I'm just going to use this shade because it has a little bit of pigment to it. So I just think it's really pretty on the lid. And honestly, if you were someone that wanted just a quick little one and done, I think this would be a perfect shade for that. I have used this shade in that manner as well. Because you can see, it definitely gives me a little something. I'm hoping you can see it. I know my lights are kind of bright today, but just a little something. It's nothing too much. Do the same thing over here, just pressing that all over the lid. This is a really stunning palette. I've loved every look I've created with it, and I just want to use it a lot. I've been trying to revisit some of the older eyeshadow palettes in my collection as well, but I find myself still wanting to go back to this one and create a couple of looks with it, so I felt like this video would be perfect to do that with. On a Sigma E54, I'm going to take the shade Robin, and we're going to run that into my crease. I might have to build it up in just a second, but I'm just going to start out with this amount first. Yeah, I think I want a little bit more pigment. I'm just adding a little bit more. I'd rather build up as I go along than start out with too much, because then I feel like it's harder for me to blend it out. Or I should say it takes longer to blend it out, because these shades aren't difficult to blend. When you apply too much, at least when I apply too much, it takes me a lot longer to blend it out. And then I'm going to go back into that blending brush. There's nothing on this brush, I'm just going around the edges of this shade. Whatever was left of that shade, Petal, whatever was left of that is all that's on the brush. There's nothing else. Okay, I went back into that shade Robin. I'm going to apply that into the crease over here as well. This is a really pretty shade. If you love really beautiful, warm, peachy tones, you will absolutely love this palette, or I feel like you would. I just think it's a pretty palette. I've seen a couple of creators mention that the Sigma Cor de Rosa, I believe is the palette, is very similar to this one. Like if you have that one, then you basically have this palette. So I just wanted to mention that in case any of you have the Sigma palette. I don't. I only have one eyeshadow palette from them, and while it's okay, it's not my favorite. So I'd rather have this one personally because I just really love Natasha Denona's formula. But if you have the Sigma one, then you basically have this palette from what I've heard. I haven't watched any videos of people comparing them, I've just heard that they are very similar. And then going back in with that blending brush, nothing on it, just going around the edges of this shade just to make sure that's nice and blended out. Okay, and using that same brush, I'm going to mix the shade Flows and Clover together. I'm going to dip into Clover first, since that's the deeper of the two, and then dip into Flows. And then I'm going to press that on this outer half of my lid. I definitely got a lot out here, like by accident, some excess, but it's okay. I'll clean that up in just a little bit. Keep swirling that brush around, making sure that shade is nice and blended into this outer crease. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, just mixing the two of those together, running it on this outer portion. And you know what I completely forgot to do? I forgot to do my lip prep, so let me blend this out and I will apply that. I meant to actually apply it during my skincare, or during the skincare portion of this video, and completely forgot about it. I just was up there saying, well, I need to let my sunscreen sink in, and then completely forgot to apply my lip prep. So let me blend these two shades out here, and then I'll apply that in just a second. Okay, so just right quick, while I'm in the middle of the eye look, I'm going to apply my Tower 28. This is their SOS Lip Softy. This one is just like a clear. This one doesn't have like a pigment to it. I love these lip softies. They're so nice. And this one has like a vanilla scent to it. It smells so good. Okay, and then I'm going to take the shade Fleur, and I'm going to press that all along this beginning portion of my lid. I might should have went in with a brush first to get that inner corner. Let me see if I can kind of drag it into the inner corner a little bit. There we go. That's much better. It's hard to get in there with these nails. I'm going to kind of tap out here a little bit because I don't want it to completely cover this portion out here. This is such a pretty shade. I mean, this whole palette is beautiful. Like, you just can't go wrong with this palette. If you love these types of tones, you will love it. Or at least I do. It's so pretty. Yes, I have a mess out here, but I'm going to be cleaning that up in just a second. But this is such a pretty eye look. Like a very just easy to follow along with eye look, which is my favorite. I like to create more wearable, easier to follow looks. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the lower lash line here. So I'm going to apply my concealer. I'm going to use the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. This one's in the shade BH. I like to apply a little bit more of this just to kind of help me easily cover up this part out here. Yes, you could wipe it away with like a makeup remover or something, but just fine doing this. I'm just going to take my finger. Yes, I could also go in with my Real Techniques brush, but I'm going to do this. Make sure I'm getting this part out here. Get that covered up some. I love this concealer. It's my favorite one. I like this one, and then I like the Natasha Denona one, the High Glam Concealer. I think that's a good one too. I know that one has a lot of hype to it. I think this one did at one point, but I don't think it did the way that one did. And that's a good one too. I didn't have to apply this much, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough, especially to do this outer portion right here, like to clean up the eyeshadow. That right there is exactly why I can never do my face first and my eyes last, because I'm just so messy with eyeshadow. Okay, I'm going to go into the shade Bark on a small angled brush. And I forgot, I'm going to line a little bit of my outer like lid up here. I forgot to do that a while ago before I went in with my concealer. But I'm going to take a little bit of that on this outer half of my lid, not going all the way in with it. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that and line just this outer half of my lower lash line, just the outer half. I'm going to do the same thing over here and line that upper lash line first on just the outer portion. And then take some of that on the lower lash line, just the outer half. I didn't pick up much. This is a very pigmented shade. On that same brush, I'm going to take the shade Rue. I have a little note on my phone where I'm keeping track of how many times I used this eyeshadow palette, including each individual shade, because it was brand new to my collection. And I've never tried an eyeshadow palette like that before, but I see where this shade has only been used once, so that's why I'm using it again, because I want to have a have it used twice at least. So we're going to bring that right here. I'm going to place that on the beginning portion. I've never tracked an eyeshadow palette like that, like the usage, like for each individual shade. I just wanted to try it out with an eyeshadow palette that was brand new to my collection. I didn't want to just start with a palette that I've already owned for like over a year, so I've been keeping track of how many times I used this palette and how many times I've used each shade. So this shade had only been used once prior, so that's why I wanted to use it today. It's pretty. It's a pretty shade. So we're just going to apply it right in there. I think it's so pretty. Of course, all these shades are pretty. I think if you were to sit here and let like a random generator pick out your shades, like play a palette bingo, I just feel like every look you create would be beautiful. Okay, the only other shade in the palette that I've only used once is this shade Equinox, so I'm going to take that on that Sigma E54. I'm just trying to use some of the shades that I feel like I haven't used as much. I don't know how this will look, if it'll even show up with a brush. I'm going to pop that right here on this inner corner. I think it looks quite pretty. It has almost like a little bit of blue to it, kind of. Yeah, like some blue sparkle in it. It's a pretty shade. I'm just trying to use it more because it had only been used one time. I feel like it's not the best shade for my inner corner because it's not, in certain light it can look a little bright, but then it also kind of looks a little bit on the deeper side, at least for my inner corner, so it's not the best option. I might have to put something else over the top of it, but at least I can say that I used it more than once. I think that shade for me would be better on the lid. So I'm going to try to take the shade Crisp using that same brush. Let's take that and see if we can pop that over the top of it. Maybe that'll kind of help it a little bit, or it might make it worse. It might have helped some. Okay, well, we'll go with that. Both pretty shades. I think they might be better for me on the lid, but they're really beautiful regardless. Okay, I'm going to curl my lashes and we're going to go back to my Refi Lash Sculpt. This is one of my most favorite mascaras ever. There's something so special about this mascara. I don't know if it's just the wand makes this better, I don't know, but I feel like every time I use it, it makes my lashes look incredible. Now there are some days where I'm having a bad lash day and I don't know if I just like slept on my face wrong or something and my lashes don't want to do very well, but for the most part, this mascara is amazing. It's pricey mascara. It's like $26, $27, but it's the one that has this really curved wand to it like this. And I just think it is a beautiful mascara. Yes, it's a learning curve with that wand, and I occasionally still poke my lid with it, but I'm a little bit better at it than I used to be. And there you can see that lash versus that. I mean, I just think it does such an incredible job. It's one of the best mascaras I've ever used, and it dries quickly. So it holds a curl. Like my curl doesn't fall or anything like some mascaras that are like have more of a wet formula and they're a little bit more heavier on the lashes. I find that they instantly my curl just goes. I have very curl challenged lashes. So when I find a mascara like this that actually holds, I'm all about it. So let me do the other side right quick and I'll be back and we'll move on to the face steps. Okay, here is that mascara on both sides. I mean, this is the best mascara I've ever tried. I mean, look how it makes my lashes. And my lashes are not really spectacular, so the fact that this mascara makes them look like this is incredible. If I could only purchase one mascara for the rest of my life, it probably would be that one. And if you're not new, you know how much I live and die for Tower 28. So the fact that I would purchase this mascara over theirs. So yeah, I just think it's a beautiful mascara. Worth every penny in my opinion, worth every penny. Okay, I'm going to move on to my complexion. Now, before I get into that, I always spray my brush or sponge, no matter what I'm using, with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. As you can see here, I'm at the bottom of this. It's like right here. This is just the mini size. I do have another one sitting over here as a backup. This is my favorite setting spray. Honestly, it's the only one that I really care to have in my collection. So I'm just going to spray my It Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush with this. And of course, it goes without saying that I'm going to use my Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen from Tower 28. This one's in the shade 10 Larch Mint. I love this stuff so very much. This is my second tube of this. I have already gone through one, and I absolutely will be going through this one too and purchasing another one when the time comes. I think though that when I repurchase it, I'm probably just going to, I'm just getting the rest that's all in the little nozzle. I'm probably going to purchase the lightest shade. This is the second shade in the range, like the second lightest. And I like to take a little bit of my concealer, just a little bit of it, just to kind of make it match a little bit more. Then we're gonna take my It Cosmetics brush. I love this brush so very much. This is another top favorite of mine, and you can still purchase this brush, which makes me happy because it's so good. Oh, did I get foundation on that little earring? I like to, even though that's not like a dangly earring, I still like to do this because I don't want to get foundation all over any earring that I'm wearing, even if it's just a little teeny little stud like this. I love this stuff so much. It just makes your face look so beautiful and glowy and dewy and just shiny. And I know not everybody is into that, and I understand. I personally love it. I mean, just look how glowy. It's so pretty. I know that my face is incredibly shiny. I'm going to tone it down in just a second with some powder, but first and foremost, I have some cream products that I'm going to go in with. First thing is my Tower 28. This is their Sculptino in the shade Broad, my favorite cream bronzer. This one is so beautiful. I love this one, and I also love the one from Makeup by Mario, the Soft Sculpt Bronzing Serum, I think is what that one's called. I love that one as well. That one is so beautiful on the skin. That one blends into the most natural, beautiful bronzer ever, and that's the way I feel about this one as well. This one is just in my everyday makeup drawer right now too, so that's why I'm using this one over the Makeup by Mario one, but I love that one as well. That one is a beautiful tone. And so is this. This is a beautiful cream bronzer, and it just blends easily into the skin. The same way the Makeup by Mario one is, so I'm going to mention that one as well, because that one's a good one. And what I love about that one is it does have a wand and a pump, so you can apply it either way. I'm also trying to hit pan on that bronzer because I've been using it so much lately, and I just want to know how quickly I can hit pan on it, because I feel like, I know at least with the blushes, I've heard that the blushes are hard to pan, so I wonder if the bronzer's the same way. I'm just wiping that same brush off on my little silicone mat because I like to go in with this same brush for all of my cream products or liquid. I just like doing that. You definitely don't have to, but I just think it's easier just to have this one brush. Now, I definitely don't need any extra glow, but I want to mention this product because I have really been enjoying this one. What I love to do with this one is on days where I'm not wearing any makeup, I'll have my sunscreen on, then I will place this yummy, what is this? The Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. I'll place that over the top, and then this product right here, which is the Tower 28 Super Dew, which is just a clear highlighting balm. I'll take this and then just lightly tap it just a little bit, just to add even a little bit more glow back to my skin. And I've been loving doing that as well, for like when I'm not really interested in wearing a full face of makeup. So I am going to be taking a little bit of this. I definitely don't need it because my face is already pretty glowy, but we're just going to apply it anyway because I have it right here, and it is a product I've really been loving. And I'm not even a highlighter person, but I think I like this one because there is no pigment to it. It's just a clear balm, and that's all it is, and that's all I really need because I don't really care to have any kind of highlighter that has like a tint to it, whether it has like a actual shade, like it's pink or it's like the icy, or it's like some of even the ones I've seen that are like green or blue, like the new ones from NYX. What are they? The buttermilk highlighters or butter highlighters or something. I see that they have a lot of pretty colors, and for a while there, I was eyeing the purple and the green one. Like, why would I do that? That's a big no, because I know I would never wear those. Unless you can maybe wear them on your eyes, I think they would be pretty as eyeshadow. But on my face, I know good and well I would never wear a purple or a green highlighter. When I just got out of my mouth saying, I like this highlighter because there's no pigment. See, it's stuff like that. I have to pull myself. I have to pull myself away from some of the stuff because products get hyped up. I understand. And you know, part of me wants to try some, but then I also want to make some smart choices here and not just buy just because it's a hyped up product. So for blush, I'm going in with two different blushes, but I'm going to start with a cream blush because I want to layer these together. I layered two of these products the other day and I really love the way they look together. Not these two that I'm wearing today, not these two shades. These are the shades I'm picking because they'll go really pretty with the eye look. This is from Tower 28, of course. This is their Beach Please cream blush. This one's in the shade Rush Hour. It's like this really beautiful peachy, orangey kind of tone. This is very pigmented, and if you can see that right there, I dug my finger into it accidentally when I first got it, so there's that. This is a pigmented, like look at that. I just dipped once and you can see just how pigmented that is. So I'm tapping off the excess on the back of my hand and then I'm going to go in on both sides here. I don't want too much because I am going to go over the top with, my hair is sticking, little baby hairs right there. I want to go over the top of this with a powder, so I definitely don't want to pick up. So I'm just kind of tapping, not on that product, just over here to kind of tap off the excess because I don't want too much of this. I am going with a powder over the top of it. But this is a beautiful, beautiful shade. If you love this kind of orangey, peachy vibe, you would love this shade. I love these blushes in general. I think they're so beautiful in the skin. And I know, and I'm so sorry that I'm always talking about this brand. I really do love their products though. So I'm not going to just, when I do a favorites video, I'm not just going to talk about something, so I'm not talking about Tower 28 all the time because I want my favorites videos to be honest, and these are my favorite products. Yes, I have other favorites as well, but they're not on the same level as these products to me. So I'm going to be honest when I'm talking about my favorites. I know that it's the same brand over and over and over, but I genuinely do love the brand, and I love all their products. They work well for me, they don't irritate my skin, and that's why I talk about them so much. And they have the kind of makeup aesthetic that I like, which is more of this soft, glowy, natural makeup, which I love. So I do apologize that I talk about this brand so very much. I realize that I do that a lot, and I'm sorry, but at the same time, though, I want to be very honest with you about my favorites, about the makeup I really am using on and off camera. Okay, so now that I have that applied, that is such a beautiful shade, but you see, just one little dot was more than enough for both sides, especially because I am going to be placing a powder over the top in just a second. For powder, I'm going in with the Tower 28 Get Set Press Powder. This one's in the shade Palisades Pink. This is not an overly pink powder. I think that if you're someone that you love the idea of a pink powder, but you're afraid of it being too pink, this is a perfect option because it's almost like a translucent. There's just the very hint of pink. So it's really beautiful on the skin. I also have the translucent, which I really love that one as well. But I use that one a lot more than this one, so I want to give this one some love as well. I'm just mostly setting my T-zone with this. Okay, the blush I'm going to go over the top of this cream blush with is from Tower 28. This is one of their Get Set blushes, and this one is in the shade Culver Crush, which I think will be such a beautiful blush to go over the top of this one. I'm going to take that on an e.l.f. What is this brush? The 105. You can't get this brush anymore. They discontinued it for some reason. But you don't need the brushes that I'm using. I just have this one sitting here in front of me. So I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to lightly tap into that blush. And I am going to be pressing off some of it into the cap because these are pigmented. I don't need too much. And I'm going to lightly press it over the top. I did this the other day with a different shade of the cream blush and the powder blush, and it looks so beautiful. So I wanted to do that again, but more of the peachy vibe. These are very, very pigmented blushes. They're so beautiful on the skin though. They really do have like a blurring quality to them, and they're lovely. And honestly, you can go in with them all by themselves, but I have the cream blushes already, so I keep wiping this off. I'm just wiping it off on my wrist a little bit. They're just really pigmented. You don't need a lot, unless you just want a lot of blush, which no shame in that whatsoever. Blush is beautiful. But I don't want too much. Might actually take some right in here a little bit, like what's left on the brush. I didn't go in with more product, I'm just taking what's left. Kind of lightly going across the nose. I think that is such a cute look for spring and summertime. I mean, it's cute year-round, don't get me wrong, but I think it's really cute. I'm just going to take that little bit of excess that's on the brush and go under the eyes and everything with it. I just think that's really cute. And of course, for my brow products, I love my Kosas Brow Pop Pencil and my Kosas Air Brow Gel. The pencil is in the shade Dark Brown. These are my favorite brow products. There's something about this pencil. I've repurchased it and I will continue to repurchase it because I think it's just a good one. And I really love that Air Brow Gel too. I need to comb my brows down first and then take this and fill in my brows. I think they also have one that's smaller, like has a smaller like tip on the end so you can get more of like I guess the hair-like strokes. I don't really personally need that for my brows, so I've never tried that one before, but I know they do have that option, or they did. I'm assuming they still have it. But this one is more than enough for what I need. I just think it looks so nice on the brows. I feel like my brows always turn out really the way I want them every time I use this pencil. Then, of course, I'm going to take my Air Brow Gel. I had a little tiny deluxe sample of this one time, and I promise you, I did not ever think I was going to fully get through it because it just kept going and going. So I feel like this product is something that I'm going to have for a while because this is the full size. And I've been trying to wipe off the little spoolie before I put it back in so this doesn't get too cloudy. Since it's like a clear packaging. I remember I had a brow product from e.l.f., like a brow gel that was clear, and ew. I did not ever wipe off the little thing, and that stuff got so cloudy and gross looking, so I'm trying to make sure that every time I use this, I'm wiping the little spoolie off on a towel right here so it doesn't get, cloudy. And then for lips, of course, I have one of my Tower 28 one-liners. This one is in the shade Fill Me In. This one's probably like my favorite. You can see this one's a little bit more shorter than my other ones, but I really enjoy this one. I'm just going to line my lips with this. This is like my lips, but better shade for me. And I'm going to fill in the top here and blot it down. So you can see it's just like my lip color, and I think that's why I like this one so much, because if I'm wearing this on its own, it's going to fade more naturally because it does look like my natural lip color. And then over the top of that, I'm going to take my Tower 28. These are their Shine On Lip Jellies. Now, this one is in the shade Iced Pistachio. Now, this version is no longer available, but the regular pistachio shade is. This one just has some shimmer in it, but you can always take the regular pistachio, and then Tower 28 has a shimmer gloss called Magic. You could place that right over the top of it, and that would give you basically the same effect. I love these. And this is such a pretty shade. I think they should make it permanent. And there we have this really simple, completed, spring-inspired makeup look using my favorites. That's makeup favorites, skincare favorites, just products that I love, whether it's springtime or not, but it just happens to be the spring season, and these are perfect for the occasion. If you love warm, peachy, pinky vibes, you will love these products. I mean, I love that eyeshadow palette too. This eyeshadow palette, honestly, this might be my top palette of the year. I know that we're only in March right now, so there might be plenty of other palettes that might come along that might top this one, but this might be my #1 palette of the year that released this year. This might be it because I have enjoyed and loved every single look I've created with this palette. Every look is beautiful in my opinion, and I don't know. I think there is just something so pretty and special about that palette, especially if you love those types of tones. And any of this makeup, really, if you love these peachy, pinky vibes, you will love all these products. I stand by all of these products. They work beautifully for me. I love them. I enjoy them. I wear them all the time. If you're not new, then you definitely know that, because these are just top true favorites for me. And that's the products that I want to talk about here on my channel. Products that are worth mentioning, not products that I might use once and then never touch it again. I want to talk about the products that I'm always using, that I'm always loving, that I continuously love throughout however many new makeup releases might come, and these products are definitely it. Now, of course, some of these are a little more newer. This released this year. The Tower 28 powder blushes are newer, so of course those are a lot newer to my collection, but I mean, I already love them. I already think they're amazing products. I've been wearing them consistently since purchasing them, and yeah, I really do love everything I have on my face. This is just a really beautiful makeup look. This is something that I love for every day, of course. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. And make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and all of these products will be listed and linked for you below. They are affiliate links, so if you click through and purchase, I do earn a small commission, and if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. And let me know your favorites. I'd love to hear from you about the makeup you've been loving or the skincare you've been loving. I'd love hearing from you. I love talking with all of you in the comments, so please let me know all of your favorites, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!